We had not heard the owner of the Raiders, Mark Davis, talk the way he talked yesterday. And that was before the Raiders lost again and fell to 2-12 in a barn burner 15-9 game. They lost to the Falcons, where the Falcons kept their playoff hopes alive. I was picturing Mark Davis after the game, trying to make sure everyone around understood that he has nothing to do with it. He doesn't get involved. He delegates all of the football power, but he hears the people. He actually said the very quiet part way louder than he had ever said it before. You see, there's a bunch of Brady rules. Not as cool as the Jordan rules, but interesting nonetheless. The Brady rules are about what he can do as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders with his side hustle as the #1 analyst for Fox Sports. It talks about what meetings he's not allowed to go to. He can't be inside the other coach's clubhouse in the room. He can't go to practices. There's a litany of things he cannot do. And that's because he's a limited partner with the Raiders. But deep down inside, other NFL owners and Roger Goodell himself, they knew that Tom Brady was not your average, ordinary limited partner. They knew that the path for Brady was one of power, was one of control, and was one of being a huge voice inside the head of Mark Davis. There was no proof because Mark Davis hadn't said it before. Tom Brady hadn't come out and said that his lifelong dream was to run the Raiders. But yesterday, Mark Davis said, I want Tom to have a huge voice. No question about it. It's part of building the infrastructure of the organization, adding a football person, not a coach or a manager, somebody who can oversee the whole picture. And I believe Tom, in time, like in three more weeks, will be the person that can do that. He was asked by a writer about the first pick that they may have or the second pick, what quarterback would they be interested in? And he said, of course, Tom Brady at some point will have something to say in that. Fox has the Super Bowl this year, and there is no other path that I see than Tom Brady relinquishing his post as the #1 analyst and becoming a full-time member of the front office of the Las Vegas Raiders. And I've got reasons for this, which are that I've got 2 pending wait to sees that he won't be the #1 analyst in 25, that he will be the head of football operations. And now I've never felt stronger in these positions. Because think about Mark Davis. What would be the reason today to highlight these issues? He still has regular season weeks plus 3 rounds of playoffs. Well, wild card, divisional round, conference title, and Super Bowl, 4 rounds of playoffs until he's done on February 9th. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the Raiders because they're going to have, because of their position where they can't win a game, they're going to have one of the top 2 picks in the draft, and they're going to fire Antonio Pierce. Yes, the very Antonio Pierce that everybody wanted back. He was the interim last year, promoted to full-time head coach after he finished the 23 season. Remember, he finished 5-4, and they said, oh, this is our guy after a search. Well, it's funny how things change because there's no one who believes that he's their guy anymore. And if you think that Tom Brady is not going to have a hand in who the next coach is, then you're not paying attention, because it's not that he's going to have a hand in it. He's going to decide it. He will pretend that he's talking to other people. He may even hire Samson, Coca and company, or maybe he'll hire who the Jets hired Coca to find a GM. Maybe he'll hire them to find a coach. Or very likely Tom Brady will bring in somebody who Tom Brady likes, who Tom Brady gets along with, and who has Tom Brady's vision of what it is, because Tom Brady will be charged not just with being the new coach, not identifying the new coach. He'll also be charged with creating the career of who they will refer to as the franchise quarterback. Because you can bet your last bippy that the Raiders are going to draft a quarterback. And then you can bet that when that quarterback is drafted, he will be Tom Brady's choice. And that pressure on that quarterback, it could be Cam Ward, it could be Deion Sanders' son, quarterbacking for Colorado. Of course, I'm saying that because I can't think of the first name. Shedeur Sanders, I think is his name. It could be him. Whoever Tom Brady meets with, gets comfortable with, and says, oh, he can be our guy. It's so easy for me to see the future of the Raiders. And there is no way NFL owners or Roger Goodell or Fox will put up with the number one analyst who really is only moonlighting as that, but in fact is an operator of a team. You can't do both. Tom Brady's going to have to choose. And my guess is it's an easy choice. 15 weeks into his Fox career, all the prep he talked about doing, it's damn hard. The preparation that you have to do each week to be good, knowing that it takes years to be great, and even then it's as unlikely to be a Hall of Fame broadcaster as it is to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's an incredibly hard skill that we may take for granted. God knows we all miss Greg Olsen. He'll be back. I wonder how quickly Roger Goodell, with all the other things going on, does he pick up the phone and say to Mark Davis, hey, listen, Mark, just to be clear, we're going to be speaking to Tom and to Fox that a choice is going to have to be made. What's your timing, Mark? And Mark will say, well, I think as soon as we're eliminated and the last game is done this season, I think we're going to need some sort of announcement because we need Tom available to help us with the draft. So there's going to be way more on this. This was part one of the Fox extrication and his entry into running a football team.